Hey world, it's your girl, the Melanated Pearl, bringing that black light to things that aren't quite right. Welcome to our podcast.
I think about all that black women do for society and how the thank you that we get is just constant disrespect, how we're not protected, how we're sexualized and fetishized in the media, how it's kind of like we're abandoned.
Welcome to our podcast, where today we're going to explore the idea of the angry black woman.
I feel like I'm a very strong person, but I'm always afraid to show that I'm too strong because I'm always afraid that it will play into that stereotype and all of a sudden I'll be looked at as masculine because of these stereotypes that are put upon black women.
Something that Jane said about the angry black woman. And who are the black women you see on the local news at night in cities all over the country? They're usually angry about something.
The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Welcome back to our podcast. Today we are focusing on the stereotype of the angry black female.
That man over there says women need to be helped into carriages, lifted over ditches, and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody helps me into carriages or carries me over mud puddles or gives me any best place. And ain't I a woman?
Let's listen as black women describe the stereotype of being the angry black female.
It's really sad to think about how young it is that we all internalize those things. I may not have had the words for it, but I knew that I wasn't going to be accepted being a 4C, dark-skinned, thick black girl. Like, I just knew that.
Welcome back to our podcast. Today we are focusing on the stereotype of the angry black female. Please tune in for more.
How it's kind of like we're abandoned.
Society does not have a black woman's back. She didn't even do anything. She just was being black.
When you're born and you're born a woman, you already have one thing stacked against you. You're born and you're a black woman, you have both of those things stacked against you. You just have to work hard as fuck. And there's no system in place to help you thrive.
Hey, Pearl Girl. Welcome and thanks for tuning in.
Of these stereotypes that are put upon black women.
Black women should be quiet into themselves and sort of have their heads down and just kind of try and blend in. You are not allowed to be a bigger woman, tall, and also stand up tall and be confident. It's just not allowed. The thing that makes me most angry is the fact that I feel like no one really has my back except other black women. It's really tough to feel alone in a fight to be seen as equal and just as successful and just as amazing as anyone else.
The variety of black women is really important in media because we are seen as only one thing, and that's sassy, or we have too much attitude, and we can never be anything else without that. There's no such thing as an angry black woman, but a black woman who happens to be angry.
I'm gonna do everything that I can to then channel that very deep pit of anger that I have into something to show you that that's not who I am, that's not who I am.
For the young black girl out there, I would say, think about all the things that we contribute every day to society and how we built this country on our backs. We did it. So think about how, even though that's a tragedy, think about how awesome we are. All the shit that we have gone through, we still win the gold medal. I mean, come on.
You are worthy, you are beautiful, and no one gets to take that away from you. The minute that you let somebody else dictate who you are and your beauty, you've already given that to them. I don't get, you don't get my worth, it's my worth, it's my worth.
And just because someone lays down rules of what is beautiful, that doesn't mean that you have to agree with that.
I think that it is important, though, that when you are feeling that intensely about any kind of injustice or some kind of, people belittling you for something that you don't deserve to be belittled for, it is important to be in that moment when you feel it.
People in elementary school who would call me a monkey or something like that, and It's sad that we like to think that we've come so far, but we haven't.
It's mind-boggling the fact that black people in general, and then also black women, are still being compared to animals.
Are you tired of being stereotyped because you're a passionate, engaged activist resisting limitations?
Christ wasn't a woman. Where does your Christ come from? Where does your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with him. So if the first woman God ever made could turn the world upside down all alone, then these women together ought to be able to turn it right back side up again. And now that they asking to do it, men ought to let them.
Want to learn more about Melanated Pearl and the Pearl World? Follow us on Instagram at melanated_pearl.